The people of Chanderi had changed a lot. Earlier, they saw Stree as nothing more than a prostitute and a terrifying witch, but now they had begun to respect her. In her honor, they even built statues of her outside and in the middle of the city. Because of this, Stree stopped troubling anyone and eventually left the city. On the other hand, Vicky, now the hero of Chanderi, was still lost in love with that mysterious girl Shraddha and kept waiting for her return. Vicky's friend Jana had moved to Delhi to prepare for the IAS exams, living with his cousin Bhaskar. His other friend Bittu was happy with his new girlfriend. Life in Chanderi was peaceful until suddenly a new evil spirit awoke. This was a headless ghost, a Sarkata, who only kidnapped modern girls. Several girls from Chanderi went missing, but everyone assumed they had left the city for studies or jobs. One day, Rudra received an anonymous letter. Inside were the torn-out pages from the Chanderi Puran, the same pages missing from the book in the first film. Those pages revealed a horrifying story from Stree's life. Years ago, Chanderi was ruled by a man named Chandrabhan, a debauched drunkard who hated women's freedom and saw them only as objects for men's pleasure. He and his friends would often watch a courtesan's mujra performance. But when that courtesan decided to get married, Chandrabhan and his men murdered her and her lover. The couple had a young daughter who witnessed their murder with her own eyes. After death, the courtesan returned as Stree, the witch. She hunted down Chandrabhan and his friends, cutting off their heads, killing them, and burying their bodies deep in the forest. Along with the letter was a warning: he will return. This was about Chandrabhan, who after Stree's departure had awakened again, now as the Sarkata. He began kidnapping modern girls. Rudra told Vicky about the letter, but Vicky didn't take it seriously until Bittu's girlfriend was taken by the Sarkata. That's when he believed Rudra. Around this time, Shraddha also returned to Chanderi, giving Vicky some information about this new ghost.
Vicky came up with a plan. They had to bring Stree back because she was the one who had defeated Chandrabhan before. To do that, he thought of taking Jana's help, because years ago, Stree had kidnapped Jana, putting him under her control, which still caused him seizures. If Jana returned, maybe Stree would come back for him. Vicky and Bittu went to Delhi to bring Jana back. Jana was living with his cousin Bhaskar, the Bhediya. Once Jana returned, Vicky, Bittu and Rudra took him one night to the palace where Stree once stayed, hoping to find her. But instead, the Sarkata appeared, determined to kill them. He attacked Jana, nearly killing him, but Jana came back to life. The four of them escaped back to the city, but the Sarkata followed. When he attacked Vicky, Shraddha appeared. She had now mastered black magic and had Stree's braid or choti. She attacked the Sarkata with it, but he didn't die. Instead, he toppled Stree's statue and stood in its place, declaring his dominance over the city once again. The next morning, Shraddha, Vicky, Bittu and Rudra visited Jana. Jana told them that when the Sarkata attacked him, he hadn't died. His soul had traveled to the Sarkata's lair, a hellish place where all the kidnapped girls were imprisoned. Since that night, whenever Jana closed his eyes, he could see that place, as if he had a divine vision, a live telecast of the lair. Because of this new demon, life for Chanderi's women became unbearable. They turned to Vicky for help. After all, he had once saved the city from Stree. The people declared him their savior and begged for his help. Meanwhile, the time for the grand annual Mahapuja approached. The Sarkata had to be stopped before the puja ended because his powers would increase greatly afterward. Shraddha gave Vicky the same knife she had once used to cut off Stree's braid, telling him to kill the Sarkata with it. But to kill him, they first had to lure him out of his lair. Rudra made a plan. They would hold a dance program in the city. Since Chandrabhan had been a lustful man, he might be tempted to appear. But no local girl agreed to dance, fearing the Sarkata. So Rudra called his old flame, Shama, a dancer, to perform.
The dance program was held and the Sarkata appeared. Meanwhile, Shraddha went to the old palace, trying to enter the lair to free the kidnapped girls. But the lair was behind a wall, protected by a magical barrier that no ordinary human could pass through. At the dance program, Shama was the only woman present, so all the men surrounded her. The Sarkata used his power to control the men, moving them aside to kidnap Shama. His power didn't affect Vicky, and since Rudra and Jana were far away, they weren't under his control either. But Bittu and all the other men fell under his influence, forcing the city's women to stop leaving their homes and to give up using mobile phones. Their minds had become like Chandrabhan's. Meanwhile, Rudra discovered the origin of the letter. It had been sent from a mental hospital in Bhopal. Vicky, Jana, and Rudra went there and met a deranged man, a descendant of Chandrabhan. He had torn the pages from the Chanderi Puran to hide Chandrabhan's story and avoid disgracing his family. But knowing Chandrabhan would return as the Sarkata, he had sent the pages to Chanderi. The madman told them that the Sarkata could only be defeated in his lair, but only someone who was neither fully human nor fully animal, or someone who was neither fully man nor fully woman, could enter. He also warned that the Sarkata would not stop until he sacrificed Stree. Since she had left, he would now sacrifice the kidnapped girls on the last day of the puja. The trio returned to Chanderi and prepared with Shraddha to face the Sarkata. At the palace, Shraddha used her spirit to merge her spirit with Vicky's body, making him both man and woman, allowing them to pass through the barrier. Outside, Jana used his vision to guide Rudra by describing the lair in real time. Inside, Vicky and Shraddha separated again. The lair was dangerous, with strange rocks and lava flowing beneath the ground. Near a tree, the kidnapped girls stood under the Sarkata's control, awaiting sacrifice. Shraddha had come willingly, carrying Stree's braid.
The Sarkata attacked Shraddha. As she was injured, the other girls also began to die. Seeing this, Vicky struck the demon's head with the knife, splitting it in two. But instead of dying, each head became two heads. Every time they destroyed a head, more appeared, until there were too many to fight. At that moment, Bhaskar, the Bhediya, arrived, summoned by Jana. Since he was half man, half wolf, he could enter the lair. Bhaskar, Shraddha, and Vicky fought together, weakening the demon for a while. But then the Sarkata reabsorbed all his heads into his body, becoming even more powerful. He knocked Bhaskar unconscious. Vicky found the sword Stree had once used to kill Chandrabhan, but it was lodged in stone and he couldn't pull it out. Meanwhile, the Sarkata attacked Shraddha. Her braid strikes did nothing. He broke her braid and nearly killed her until she cried out for her mother. Hearing this, Stree herself appeared. Shraddha was actually Stree's daughter, the same little girl who had watched Chandrabhan burn her mother alive. In the first film, Stree hadn't recognized her and had tried to kill her, still seeing her as a child. But now, recognizing her daughter's voice, Stree remembered and embraced her. She began fighting the Sarkata. Bhaskar regained consciousness and joined in. Vicky finally freed the sword and handed it to Stree, who sliced the Sarkata into pieces and threw him into the lava, destroying him. With the demon gone, the kidnapped girls and the men of Chanderi were freed from his control. Stree left once again.
In the end, Shraddha told Vicky her full truth. Her real mission had been to free her mother's spirit. She had learned black magic for this, becoming a witch herself. For years, she had been waiting for someone who could free Stree and defeat the Sarkata. When Chanderi's protector, Vicky, was ready, she befriended him. But now, though she had fallen in love with him, she couldn't stay because she was a witch. She left the city. Mid-credit scene. Jana and Bhaskar are seen in a forest. Bhaskar tells Jana he likes Shraddha and wants to be friends with her. He also mentions that a vampire has appeared in Delhi drinking people's blood. Post-credit scene. In the mental hospital in Bhopal, where Chandrabhan's descendant was kept, a water pot called Lota slides on its own into the room filled with the same lava in which the Sarkata had died. The madman drinks the lava, transforming into a powerful demon. So friends, this was the explanation of Stree 2. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and share it. And for more such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you get notifications at the right time.